All right, we're good to go, you guys.
Awesome. All right. Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to Zoom call 36. It is Monday, October 30th. I saw that look, Jamie. I feel the same way. I can't believe it. It's amazing. Thank you all for hopping on. I know it's Monday. Mondays are crazy, and we so appreciate all of you. I'm so flippin' excited, and I want to give a shout out to Colton, first of all, for thinking of Heidi as a speaker, because I can't believe we haven't had her speak yet. She is one of my all-time favorite people. She's actually the person who taught me how to do weightlifting, like lift weights and use any of the machines at the gym, because I was completely clueless. So thank you for that, Heidi. She is obsessed with the color purple, if you know her. She is one of the funniest people you'll ever meet, and she has an amazing background in nutrition, and she's been a personal trainer for 30 plus years, so has a lot of knowledge in this realm of health and wellness. So with that all said, I'm going to kick it off to Chelsea and Heidi, and we can dig into Heidi's story.
Awesome.
You're muted, Chelsea.
Oh, I'm sorry. Can you hear me now? Awesome. Thank you so much, Allie. Yeah, Heidi and I actually just met last week on a Zoom call, so I got to know her a little bit. So I'll be kind of guiding the interview tonight. So Heidi, if you want to just give a little bit of your background and kind of your story around Isagenix to start off, that would be great.
Absolutely, yeah. Here, let me just let my cat in here. He's going to scratch my door down. Yeah, so honestly, I was a personal trainer, like Allie said, and I was a competitive bodybuilder, off and on for a couple decades around having kids and whatnot. And oddly enough, I had a really amazing diet, and I was in really incredible shape, but I didn't feel good. I really didn't feel good. And it actually was pretty frustrating for me because I knew what to eat and I knew what to do, but I didn't sleep good. I had no energy, and I lived on coffee just to train my clients and get through the day. And then I still had, a few hours in the gym I needed to spend because I was still, pretty actively competitive as a bodybuilder. So yeah, I was not feeling the best. So I was super excited when I found Isagenix because it was such a game changer for me and how I felt. I mean, just the sleep improved and my energy got so much better, and just overall just felt great. My mental clarity, I could focus and concentrate better. And as far as like performance, I mean, that was a whole nother realm that I really wasn't even anticipating with it. But it, even at my age, I'm 51, almost 52. And you can still build muscle, which I'm still doing today, and stay lean and healthy. So Isagenix, it was the best thing that ever happened to me, hands down. And so, yeah, I'm super grateful for, being given this gift called Isagenix, for sure.
Awesome. So who introduced Isagenix to you?
Well, a gal that she was a trainer with me at Gold's Gym, and she actually got Nicola and her and I together, and we met in person, and I already knew Nicola, but I just kind of right away knew that I thought this might be the thing that was really going to make a difference. So yeah, it's awesome. Very thankful for that.
So were you looking at the time for something different than what you were doing?
Well, truthfully, as a bodybuilder, you kind of always have to supplement because there's only so much chicken and eggs you can eat. You got to have other protein, right? So I was supplementing, but I never noticed a difference. It didn't make any difference in my workouts. Most of the protein that I had tried was really pretty awful. I'm not going to lie. I really had to to choke it down. Wasn't good, and it always gave me a bad gut ache. So I didn't really look forward to my whey protein, and didn't love any of it that I had tried prior. So yeah, I'm very well versed in supplementation, but there just aren't supplements out there like this. I know because I've done a lot of them. And so, yeah, no, lots of supplementing prior to Isagenix, just not very good ones, unfortunately. There's not a lot of great stuff out there, to be really honest, at least in, in my experience.
That's awesome. And I guess with that, with your experience, I mean, with other things that you've tried, why Isagenix? What are some of your reasons behind choosing this over other things?
Well, there's a lot of reasons. That could be a whole call in itself, but I think mainly it's just such a clean product. I mean, the ones I tried, in the past, I think because there's not a lot of choices, I mean, it's really important where your product comes from and what it's made of and that kind of stuff. And, most all of the products that I tried, not super high quality ingredients, lots of artificial sweeteners. It was really hard to get around finding something that didn't have artificial sweeteners and soy. I'm very against soy, but a lot of products have soy. And what I love is there's no GMOs in this, and it's grass-fed, which is, I don't know if you know a lot of difference, but grass-fed versus the way they traditionally, most whey comes from feedlot cows, and they're fed GMOs, soy and corn, and then they're injected with hormones, steroids, and antibiotics. So the animal's already sick from eating soy and corn. And so then you're like ingesting all that, and it's super inflammatory. And I think that's why I just never felt very good on the other whey. But just the fact that this is processed very differently, it's got a much higher absorption rate. And it's just, I've never had issues with it hurting my belly when I would have it. And so just the higher quality ingredients and no artificial sweeteners and just nothing artificial in there. That's, to me, that's the very most important, part. So yeah, and the whole other thing too, versus supplements, like I did a lot of protein supplements. Meal replacements weren't really anything that were big so much at that time. So you were basically just supplementing protein. But Isagenix being a full meal replacement is so awesome because you're replenishing nutrients that are not in our food anymore. And so I know that's the reason that I felt completely different once I tried Isagenix, is because it fills in the gaps of the missing nutrition that just is no longer in our food. And sadly, will never be in our food ever again. So I guess for me, that was like the game changer, is doing the full meal replacement piece and just having super, super high quality ingredients that doesn't come from feedlots. That's kind of important. So yeah, I mean, absolutely good stuff. Good everything goes in Isagenix.
Yeah, that's awesome to hear. Let's see what's up next. Based on the shakes, while we're talking about them, how do you like your shake? What is your favorite flavor?
Oh boy, the mint chocolate is my favorite by far. I wish we could get those all of the time, but I have 20 of them right now, so it should get me through for a little while. And I even cut them in half. I do a scoop of mint and a scoop of chocolate isopro, so that should maybe last me a while. That's my favorite, I won't lie. But when I run out of that, I'm pretty much chocolate, or a scoop of chocolate and a scoop of strawberry is really pretty amazing too. I mean, there's not really a bad Isagenix shake, honestly, but we all have our favorites, right? Definitely.
Exactly.
That's mine.
How do you like it? Shaken or blended?
Oh, absolutely blended. I can do shaken if I have to, but I don't really go anywhere without my blender. I travel with my blender. I like them much better blended, but that's just me. So yeah, I love them. Love them that way.
Awesome. And I guess on the side of like the performance line products, What are some of your favorites with that you've seen great results?
You know, on a side note on that, I was always very, I was always kind of not so, I guess you could say I was kind of against them. I really always thought that performance products were, but it was all BS. Like I really didn't think that there was anything to it and that it would really help you. I personally, before Isagenix, never really did any performance line stuff. No creatine, none of that kind of stuff. And so, but I kind of decided, you know, I really should try everything so that when people ask me, I'll be able to share my experience, because otherwise, how can you, right? So I did start using the performance line, and I still was in that place where not really thinking it was going to do anything really. And so I was actually super surprised how much difference it makes as far as like feeling like I can work out harder and longer and then recover faster and not get as sore. So yeah, I believe in all of them. Honestly, I think they're all fantastic and they all have a great place in, you know, really any sport or activity that you do. They can be super beneficial. So I absolutely love them all. And I don't think it's BS anymore. I think they absolutely work. And so I think everyone should try them. Yeah, absolutely. Made a huge difference for me.
Awesome. And what about cleansing? Where did that fall into your Isagenix story? Did you start cleansing right away?
No, to be super honest, I was deathly afraid of it. I eat 8 times a day, and just the mere thought of not eating those 8 times a day, I know it sounds really weird, but I was very regimented in my eating. And so, and I did in the back of my mind had a little fear that, oh my gosh, you know, am I going to lose muscle? I mean, I'm worked really hard for this muscle mass, you know, so that was always kind of a little bit of a fear. But I'll tell you, when I finally got over that and thought, you know, I just need to do this, I love cleansing. Like, I absolutely love cleansing. I'm kind of weird that way, but no, I would be considered probably an over cleanser. There was periods of time where I would do a 48 every single week for a long, long time. I love them, and I don't need weight loss at all. I mean, that's totally not something that is I need, but what I loved is I get like almost a euphoric feeling when I cleanse, like way back in the day, long, long time ago when I used to run some. It's kind of like that runner's high feeling, right? Like you get, right? You know what I'm talking about. And so I really get that when I'm cleansing. I feel amazing. Like, I mean, I feel really good all the time, but I really particularly love how I feel when I cleanse. So I do love it. And I only do 48-hour cleanses. I only believe in those personally. I just think if you're going to do, what's that?
Was that how you started? Was with the 48-hour, or was it just a basic cleanse day?
Nope. I just did a 24, but you know, and looking into it more and finding out the benefits, how much more benefit you get on the second day. I just thought, well, that just makes total sense. Why would I, you know, why not do it all out? So that's really all I do anymore is I plan it and make sure I have a 2-day window that I can do it if I'm gonna do it. So yeah, cleansing. Don't be afraid of cleansing. Honestly, I mean, it's, you know, I can say it was a little more difficult for me at first, just because I'd never done anything like that. You know, it's brand new. So, you know, at first I would have to say it's more challenging because you're trying to. It's kind of like the fear of the unknown. Once you know what it's like, then you're not afraid anymore, right? So it was like that. And once you do it, then you know what to expect, and it's easier every single time you do it. So cleansing's awesome, and everyone should do it for sure. We're toxic beings, so you got to get that toxic crud out of our system, right? Plus, you perform better, right? You know, being a long distance runner like yourself, I mean, I'm sure it's made all the difference for you as well.
It has. It really has. It's just fitting it in that's hard.
Yep.
For me right now.
Definitely.
Yeah. What's next? Oh, just quick, are you still on an auto ship program? And have you been since you started?
For 7.5 years, I've been on auto ship every single month. Yes, absolutely. I will never go off auto ship. It scares me to death to run out of product, to be honest with you. It's a real fear of mine. That's a real fear too. So just, yeah, auto ship is important. Yeah,
So
I love auto ship.
Since
Never have
the
to worry.
get-go?
What's that?
Since the get-go, you've been on auto ship?
Yes, I've been on auto ship since the very beginning. Yeah,
Awesome.
absolutely.
And when you first started Isagenix, did you get a lot of questions as far as what you're doing from other people? Did you get a lot of comments?
It really started with my clients, because I was fit. Physically, I probably can't say I looked different, because I really didn't need to change physically. I just needed to change in other ways, But I definitely had, I think, more of a natural energy versus a caffeine-induced energy. Those are different. So I think people really took notice about just the energy that I had, and I clearly felt so much better. And I think that was pretty apparent to most people. And so, yeah, lots of my clients, lots of the people at the gym that knew me were asking me, if I was doing well. Then, of course, when some of my clients started on it, then all kinds of people were asking me, what do you have so-and-so doing? And, and so, yeah, people notice. Even if weight loss is not your goal, people will still notice something different about you, because you can't help but show you feel better. It just happens. So, yeah, lots of people asking. For sure.
That's awesome. Did you get some questions that you didn't know answers to? Did you connect people with other people that you knew more?
Yeah, of course, absolutely in the beginning, especially like the cleansing piece. I have a background in nutrition, so that really wasn't, I knew that part of it, but the cleansing part was brand new to me. And so, in the beginning, definitely, people would have questions I couldn't always answer. And so that's definitely, I think, the best way is to plug them into people that, do know the answer. Don't just give them some answer. Find out the answer. It's really important to help people. Plug them in a 3-way call. Or see, we didn't have Zoom and all this great stuff then. Zoom is a nice thing. It really is, because you get to see people versus just chatting with them on the phone. So it's such a nice thing that we have now to do it that way. But yeah, absolutely. If you don't know, find someone that does and plug them in. Definitely.
Awesome. Any questions out there anybody has for Heidi? She has so much knowledge as far as nutrition and health and wellness and diet.
I have a question.
Okay.
Heidi, I know that when we talked earlier this week, last week, you mentioned more about your transformation and the weight thing. And I was wondering if you could share that, because I was actually talking to someone a couple days right after you shared your story with me and Chelsea. And she's like, yeah, she's a girl who's super fit, does not need to lose any weight. And she was worried about losing weight with this. And she's like, I've lost 6 pounds in like 2 weeks, and I didn't think I needed to lose anything. And I was like, you know what? And I asked her, I was like, how are you feeling? Do you feel unhealthy? Do you feel like unhealthy from losing the 6 pounds? She's like, no, I feel really good. And she's like, my energy's great through the roof. And she's like, I just wasn't expecting to lose weight. And she even mentioned my clothes fit the same. Nothing appears different. And I shared your story, and I was wondering if you could kind of share that with us.
Oh yeah, I guess I didn't touch on that piece of it, but yeah, I was in a similar situation. In fact, I was a little bit worried about losing weight, to be honest, because I don't know if you guys know, but when you compete in bodybuilding, you compete in a specific weight class. And so I was shooting for my normal weight class, and I was worried, okay, might put me under. And I always competed as a middleweight, but I did lose. I lost 12 pounds, and I was Absolutely. I mean, normally I never even weigh until it's like right before a contest to see if I'm kind of where I need to be. But I just weighed before I started just to kind of get an idea of where I was. And honestly, my clothes didn't fit any different. Everything looked the same, but it was like the internal toxic fat that you couldn't see on me. And so like the visceral fat around my organs and that kind of stuff. So I know that's where it came from, because I mean, nothing else changed from, as far as how I physically looked. It was just all internal. And I felt like, it's crazy. Like I felt like this huge weight was lifted off me. Like I just felt, I don't even know how to even describe that feeling, but you just feel, it's just, you feel cleaner, like I guess is the best way to describe it. And I felt lighter, but in a really good way. And then I know, man, when I was starting to feel that way, I didn't care what I lost. I was like, okay, clearly that's what needed to go. And that was good. It was good. And interestingly enough, because I didn't really I needed that fat loss, but weight loss, I kind of popped right kind of back to my normal, where my body's kind of comfortable at. So for me, I went back to my normal,
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I was astounded that I lost that much in 30 days. I really was, but it was a good thing. It was a good thing.
Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah, sorry, I kind of skipped that piece altogether. It's not something most people think, like with people that are athletes or bodybuilders or whatever, that weight loss is going to happen. But, we often, because we don't store a lot of external fat or subcutaneous fat, because we're, just leaner, people think, oh, you're healthy, you don't need to cleanse, you're lean. When in fact, we're actually more toxic because we don't produce a lot of fat cells. We don't have a lot of fat to put the toxins in. So it's actually more dangerous to be thin and be toxic, like that skinny fat. It is. All athletes should absolutely cleanse. I don't care what type of athlete you are, you need to cleanse, because that toxicity, you actually have a higher concentration of toxins in your body than a person that carries a little bit of extra cushion. So it's actually more dangerous. So cleansing is really super important for anyone.
I was going to add, I had a very similar story, not my story. I gained 25 pounds on Isagenix. And I have a buddy who's in Charleston who was a powerlifter, three-lift competitor, and he was 185 pounds. And he didn't want to start Isagenix because he was afraid he was going to lose weight, just like you, Heidi. He didn't want to drop below his weight class. He didn't want to go down to 174 or whatever it was. But he did. He dropped down, but he felt stronger. He competed in the lower weight class that year and won it. He won the three-lift meet and felt really good. 6 months later, he's up 20-something pounds, eating at his actual weight class, like crushing it. And he's so much stronger. He's going to squat 500 pounds this year. He's 179, 181, somewhere around there. Like he's in like
wow,
weight class.
Incredible.
Wow.
And, yeah, it's insane to look at this guy and think about he lost like 15 pounds his first month, but it was all like visceral fat. It wasn't fat that was on the outside. He had a six-pack going into the thing. He was a ripped guy, but he felt so much better. He lifted better. He recovered better. He was able to train better, and he blew it out of the water. Like, the guy's insane. Like, if you look at him now, he's like a 5'7", 5'8" guy. Good. He's got good legs. Good, like he's built like a power lifter, but he's light. Like, he's a light guy for 500-pound squat. Like, that's a big.
That is really light for 500-pound squat.
And so he crushed it. Like, when I left Charleston, was 10 months ago, he was squatting 485 like for 3 set reps, and I was like, that's insane.
That is insane. No, I mean, just what cleansing does for your inflammation. I mean, if you're an athlete and you're super inflamed, I mean, you cannot perform to the best of your capability. I mean, when you can reduce the inflammation and reduce the acidity and eat a more alkaline diet, and Isagenix helps you with the alkalinity and the inflammation. I mean, it'll just be a game changer for athletes if they really understood what it could do for their sport. It's incredible.
I wish I'd have had it when I played baseball.
Yeah, no kidding. I bet. Yeah. Yeah.
Heidi, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
And this might take the call in a different direction. But if you know Heidi, she shares this stuff like wildfire. Heidi, what made you want to share this with people?
Honestly, I mean, how could you not share it? I mean, I don't even know. I mean,
I agree.
I felt, you know, I mean, this is to just step it back a second. You know, as a trainer, you always have people asking, you know, what should I be eating? What nutritional supplements should I be doing? You know, what should I be doing? And I'll be really honest. I mean, I would tell them what to eat, but I never really recommended supplements because I really just didn't, there wasn't any good ones that I had had a good experience with personally. And then Isagenix comes along and completely changes my life, right? And I mean, I view it as a gift. I mean, it's the greatest gift I've been given, honestly. And I just think it's really selfish to not share it with other people because there's a lot of people out there that are suffering and they're in pain and they don't feel good and they're overweight and they have chronic disease. And I mean, you have something that could help them. Why on earth would you not tell them about it? I mean, I just think it's insanity to not. And I guess for me, at first I was a little hesitant, you know, unless people came to me, I was a little hesitant. But, you know, after a while I thought, oh my gosh, you know, like I'd see people in the gym. I'm like, okay, I've seen this person in the gym for the last 5 years. They work out with a trainer and they look exactly the same as they've always looked, right? You know, you see those, right? You know those people. And I just thought, you know what? They deserve to know that this could really, I mean, they're working their butt off in the gym, right? But they don't have the right fuel. You got to give them the right fuel. So I started saying, you know what? I don't care what people think. They either want it or they don't. I can help them or I can't. And that was just kind of the stance I took on it. And I just started telling people about it because I love it. And I've seen incredible changes in people. And so, I mean, so much so that, I mean, I quit my training job because the impact that I can have with Isagenix on people's health in 14 countries versus the impact I could have on a handful of people in Gold's Gym in Bozeman, Montana, it's not even comparable. I mean, I had no impact versus what I feel like I have today and the people that I can really help. So yeah, I'm long done with training. I loved it. It was great, but I just love what I can do now. And I meet the most amazing people all over the world, and you just can't beat that. I could never do what I, you know, as a trainer, what I'm able to do now. So yeah, no problem sharing it. It's Isagenix is awesome.
Yeah, you are totally right. I think one of the funnest things that I have ever done is when I go over to Heidi's house and we sit at her dining room table and we're like, we're talking to this person in the UK. So you just meet amazing people all around the world. So
yeah, there's nothing better, you know, or getting those texts, you know, you get up in the morning, and I got one the other morning, you know, and I'm having my cup of coffee and this text pops up, and, you know, you get stuff like, you know, I'm trying to remember exactly what he said. And he said, you know, it was this guy that I actually got on Isagenix before, but he wasn't ready. His mindset wasn't ready. And he reached out to me again about 5 months ago, and he said, I'm ready to go again. And I got him on, and, you know, he's lost 85 pounds in 5.5 months. And like his mind's right. And so he texts me and he goes, you know, thanks for never giving up on me and believing in me. And he goes, without you, I could have never done this. And his goal is to lose 150 pounds. And he goes, I have no doubt with you by my side that I'm going to hit my goal, and my life is forever changed because of you. And I'm sitting there like bawling, and my husband comes down the stairs and he's like, what is wrong? And I'm like, I just showed him the text. I'm like, I can't even tell you. And he reads the text, and I just said, you know, in 30 years of being a trainer, I never got that kind of, you know, I never had that kind of impact on people. So, I mean, that's the kind of stuff I get out of bed for. That's so awesome.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it is.
so much. We are
I
hitting
just got
that
the chills.
time. We are hitting that time. It's 8 o'clock here. What is it there? 7 o'clock there.
7 o'clock.
Any last questions before we close things out? I think we're good. Thank you so much, Heidi.
Yes, thank you.
Absolutely.
Thanks,
Everyone for joining
Thanks
us.
for having me.
Thanks everyone for hopping on today.
Thank you, guys.
Good night, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
Good night.